organization differ from the period you work from home? Did you work longer or shorter than the workplace? And also there are some other questions about the motivation, productivity. You know, there are 11 sets of questions basically. I'm not gonna go through, you know, each question to make the presentation short. So I'm just gonna jump into the results. How we, you know, basically rank the results. I'm gonna show you for the 2 slides, and then we're gonna go to conclusions. So as far as the first question, all of the participants stated that they did not have difficulty in using information technology while working from home within the scope of pandemic measures. Just for your information, because most of them were like younger age, like, you know, below 50. I think there was no participant like above 50, the age of 50. For the second question, did the working time for which you were responsible in your organization differ from the period you worked from home? Did you work longer or shorter than the workplace? So 5 out of 10 respondents stated that they work at home for shorter periods compared to the time period in which they are responsible, because they mostly stated that in the working space there are a lot of like distractions also going on, and let's say if they are able to finish the job in like 2 hours, but they have to stay there like 8 or 9 hours, like officially. So basically what they do, they just spend the time at working place in the office, but not being so much productive versus being at home. So if we go back to the previous slide, Professor. So 3 participants stated that the working time spent at home is the same as in the workplace. The responses of the 2 participants to these questions are as follows. So this is the format of our work for the, you know, second question. We compiled all the questions in our paper like this, you know. Let's say 5 of them stated like this, 2 of them stated this, 3 of them are separate. So we put their statements separately for this A2 and A3. So let's see what they said. One is A2 is the manager from public sector. It showed differences. The working time, so at home versus office, showed differences. I worked at home for shorter periods of time. I was not at the computer all the time, but since there is no time concept, I have worked late at night outside of working hours a lot. That means sometimes you have to depend on other people to finish the job. If you are like all the employees, all the shareholders of any project, any job, working in the same place, in the same office, it is much easier to get into or contact them or like reach them to finish the job, finalize the job, versus if you work at home, and many people work at home, sometimes people may have some difficulties, face some difficulties reaching to other parties. So these are the, you know, some shortcomings of the working from home. And the second manager was from private sector, and his or her answer is, as you know, we cannot reach everyone, as I mentioned, at any time while working from home. So the shift continues until we reach and complete the job. Therefore, from time to time, we work longer at home than office. So we can go to the next. So this is the format of our classification of the results. So I'm just going to talk about the conclusion and discussion. The home working system, which is among the measures taken against the COVID-19 outbreak and this pandemic, has brought an important innovation, especially in Turkish business life. Right now, many companies, many public corporations and also institutions use flexible working models, and also, you know, let's say they have like 100 employees. They are like rotational basis, 3 like 30% of 100 people working from home on a rotational basis. So the participants who generally expressed their views on working from home also mentioned the difficulties and downsides of the system. So what are the downsides or the difficulties? Basically, the workload at home increased. Work hours were extended for some people. Work-related materials could not be accessed due to inefficiencies in IT technologies. Let's say the company has a strong IT structure, but if the person working from home does not have a good internet connection, so then he's not going to be able to connect to the system or the shared drives to get the necessary information out of that location. Some participants also stated that when they work from home, they are not as productive as in the workplace. Similarly, you know, even in my workplace, some people say, you know, I want to come to the office because I cannot be productive at home because my children, you know, they are not allowing me to work, or they have some other dependencies or distractions going on at home. Some managers participating in the study are also concerned about lack of motivation and losing their control over the personnel. So if you don't know how to use the information technology effectively to be able to communicate with your subordinates, your employees, you're not going to be able to manage them effectively. And you're not going to be able to like, you know, the control or follow what they are doing. Maybe they are, you know, just jogging, they are just playing football, but they might be in the system, like, you know, like logged on, but they might be doing some other stuff. Even with this, some companies are also implementing some spyware. I don't know if you heard about that, spyware control systems to be able to monitor, like monitor the employees, you know, what they are doing, what which websites they are visiting, which systems they are getting, which data they are using. So there are some also spyware softwares, I think all over the world, with getting the people's or employees permission. On the other hand, some participants also think that working from home is positive for other family members. Working from home model was the solution. This is another statement from one of the participants. It was the solution for staff who left their children to grandparents and had to give up due to the measures taken for elderly. More flexible, along with more time to spend time with the family and children, lead to more productivity. So when they feel like, you know, their children or their spouses, husbands, or like elderly people, they are just, you know, beside them, they feel more confident and more productive, more they may increase their motivation also towards the working. It may also be beneficial to organize a working and implementation procedure between the employer. So these are the recommendations of our study. Basically, just jump, you know, I presented the conclusion and discussions, and we have, I think, 2 or 3 slides, Professor Gökhan, I think, as far as I remember, 2 slides, recommendations about future studies and about the employers or employees. So it may be beneficial to organize a working and implementation procedure between the employer and the personnel before starting to work in the relevant system. Because of emergency of this situation, it was first encountered by many countries. They were not prepared to work from home. But if they didn't decide to work from home, they were not going to be able to go to the office space because it was so dangerous in terms of the spread of the virus. So it would be much more productive to organize a working and implementation procedure between the employer and the personnel before starting to work in the relevant system. Even it can be tested before wider usage of that system. In addition, before moving to home working system, ensuring that the technological infrastructure of the institution, the technological competence of the personnel, so they can provide some, education also to the personnel, and the psychological state are appropriate, can be a precaution for the problems that may arise. Home-based working system may provide many benefits, such as energy and labor consumption, happy and motivated workforce, and being able to maintain service in extraordinary situations that may occur in the coming years. Because it's not going to be like, this is like COVID-19, maybe like in 2020 or 2021, there is going to be there might be another disease, nobody knows about that. So in terms of that, institutions and also employees should be prepared, should be educated to be able to work from home or to be able to work from anywhere. This research also was conducted with participants selected from various sectors in order to evaluate the flexible working conditions and experience applied in different conditions also. Future work can be implemented on employees in a single sector. Because we have like banking, insurance, education sector. So if you, in future works, if they focus only in one sector, so you could maybe capture the differences in a more homogeneous way. Comments and evaluations regarding the opinions of the participants in this study are limited to the answers given. Investigation of that in the answers is another field. With interdisciplinary cooperation, studies in which participants' views are analyzed with more advanced analysis techniques can be also conducted in the future. Lastly, this research has tried to convey the profile of changing business dynamics in an unexpected and extraordinary situation, such as a pandemic, from the perspective of 10 people working in different sectors and positions. In future studies, it can be carried out with more participants, of course, in a longer time period. This is it from me. Thanks for listening. If you have any question, we can take it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you all, everybody.
Can I have the first question? Simply because I would like to take advantage of Dr. Imnat having seemingly stolen his presentation from me. I'm just kidding, of course. Now, it seems that we have a nice overlap here, because when you talk about working people's perceptions of their working time and space and feelings and so on, then that links up perfectly to what I did at the beginning. So it's a really lucky coincidence that we close and began on very similar notes. So I'm happy to let everybody else do the questions and the remarks, but I find it just really like a sign from above that we are talking about, and have been talking in so many other presentations, of course, today, about people's perceptions, especially during these times, macroeconomically, microeconomically, and in all kinds of levels in between. So that is really a kind of a nice way to close the conference. Very nice.
It was totally a coincidence, Conrad.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a wonderful coincidence as it is.
Yeah.
So it brackets the other participants' presentations, which are of course more important than ours, in that it brackets them very nicely and lets them shine quite appropriately. So I'm glad.
Smoothly and softly, right, Conrad?
Sorry?
Smoothly and softly.
Exactly. Diplomatically and always praisingly.
Very good.
So of course, I could see many parallels, which is why I don't want to ask many questions.
Professor Adnan, I think, is here also, right? Professor Veysel? Because
Veysel, are you still alive? Or have you fallen asleep? Veysel is still there.
Microphone is off as far as I know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So my closing remarks is about thanking everybody. You were really great contributors to our session, and it was really nice presentations that I ever heard and learned a lot of things from you. So thank you for all contributions. See you on the next RSEP conferences, maybe 19th and ongoing presentations.
Sure. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, my friends.
Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you for the organization. Thank you for Veysel. Thank you, Imdat, to Kırıkkale and Istanbul University for their collaboration.
Thank you very much.
Kadir Haas and Kırıkkale. That was very
Kadir
nice.
Has, yeah.
Thanks for session chairs for their nice work. Thank you.
Thank you to the organizers. It must have been a tremendously challenging to get this set up online. So great job, well done. Thank you for organizing.
Well, thank you.
I'm typing that in the comments space as well here for all of you. Thanks to the organizers. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, dear Professor.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And by the way, do we have a next conference coming up? Barcelona, Madrid, anything like that online or not yet?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, you let us know. You let us know. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you.
We let you go. You had a long day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.